Welcome to Ways to Look and Feel Great series. In this video, I will be revealing the history of yoga. Knows exactly how old yoga is. Word had it that it originated as long as 5,000 to 10,000 years ago. It was down orally and has gone through much evolution. The reference to yoga was found when archaeological excavations were made in the Indus Valley, an amazing, powerful, and influential civilization in the early antique period. This dedicated culture developed around the Indus River and the long-gone Sarasvati River in northern India on the border towards Pakistan, and had sewage systems, baths as early as 2600 BC. While religions continue to want to make yoga their own creation, it belongs to all of us. It has facets that can be found in the Hindu and Buddhist faith, but the basic principles are universal and based on the 8 limbs of yoga, which can be found in all religions. The Hindu yoga is defined as 5 periods. 1. The Vedic period. The next reference to yoga is found in the Rig Veda, the oldest sacred text in the world. The Veda, dating back to 1200 and 1500 BC, are a collection of hymns, mantras, and Brahmanical rituals that praised a greater being. Yoga referred to in the book as yoking or discipline, without any mention of a practice or a method to achieve this discipline. The Veda, too, mentions yoga with a reference to controlling the breath. 2. Classical period. The creation of the Upanishads between 800 to 500 BC marks the period called pre-classical yoga. The word Upanishad means to sit near and implies that the only way a student could learn the truths inscribed in the texts was by sitting close to a guru. The Manya Upanishad outlined a 6-fold path to liberation. This fold yoga path included controlling the breath, pranayama, withdrawing the senses, pratyahara, meditation, dhyana, concentration, dharana, contemplation, tarka, and absorption, samadhi. Putti's Yoga Sutra was later to mirror these paths with greater elucidation and a few additions. 2 disciplines gained prominence at this time: karma yoga, path of action or ritual, and jnana yoga, path of knowledge or study of the scriptures. Both led to liberation or enlightenment. The Bhagavad Gita, composed around 500 BC later, added the Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, to this path. It was time of the Upanishads that the idea of ritual sacrifice was internalized and became the idea of sacrifice of the ego through self-knowledge, action, and wisdom. This is an important part of yoga's philosophy today. As does, the Upanishads contained nothing of what we would term as yoga asana practice today. The probably most important presentation of yoga came in the next period. 3. Classical period. Written sometime in the 2nd century, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras created a milestone in the history of yoga, defining what is now known as the classical period. This 195 sutras, aphorisms, is considered to be the first systematic presentation of yoga, and Patanjali is revered as the father of yoga. Patanjali defined the 8-limbed path of yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, which described a practical treatise on living and laid out a path for attaining harmony of the mind, body, and soul, strengths to which would lead one to enlightenment. This still serves as a guideline for living in the world, although modern yoga no longer sees the need to master the 8 limbs in succession. 4. Post-classical period. It was in this period that the belief of the body as a temple was rekindled, and yogis designed a practice to rejuvenate the body and to prolong life. It was no longer necessary to escape from reality. Instead, the focus was more living in the moment and on the correct path. The elevation of the spiritual and the physical halves, and the need to harmonize the mind, body and spirit. These are the creation of Tantra Yoga to cleanse the body and mind, and to Hatha Yoga in the 9th or 10th century. 5. Modern period. Yoga in its present avatar owes a lot to learned gurus who traveled west to spread the benefits of yoga, or researched and created different schools of yoga. In 1893, Swami Vivekananda addressed the Parliament of World Religions in Chicago and spoke about Raja Yoga. Swami Vivekananda wrote several books on yoga and philosophy and introduced the 5 principles of yoga. J. Krishnamurti, the prolific Indian philosopher, influenced thousands with his writings and teachings on jnana yoga. The epicenter of modern-day yoga, as practiced in the West, began with Krishnamacharya, Mysore, India in 1931. Tikacharya opened the first Hatha Yoga school in the 1920s. 3 Namacharyas' most famous pupils were Pattabhi Jois, who developed the school of Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. Indra, who introduced yoga to Hollywood, and V.K. Iyengar, who created Iyengar Yoga, known for its attention to body alignment and for its use of props. Since many more yoga gurus have become pioneers, popularizing yoga and finding new styles in keeping with the changing times. Create Yoga and fitness expert Chris Fondran, Shapeshifter Yoga is an online fitness learning program designed to help you not just master yoga as an exercise, but an excellent alternative to lose weight. Find out more at the following link. At the time, you can check out our blog for more health advice and info at www.waystolookandfeelgreat.com. Thanks for watching this video. Also remember to hit like, subscribe and bell notifications for all future updates.